Maybe there, maybe not. I talk to you regardless. Part 1, Chapter 1. I was Jonah in the belly of the whale for the last 6 months of 1999. I was 32 years old and had walked away from everything that was my life and identity. Convulsive forces were breaking me apart. I was thrown about by rage and pain and the electric strike of memories, the jarring sound of others' judgments, the absence of friends, and the distance from my family that was measured by my shame. Some days I sobbed until I was empty, curled like an embryo, lost in that dark place. My head pounded, my body ached. I stared at the brick wall beside my bed with nothing in my head, until another memory sent me spiralling down again. I had become somebody. Now I was unravelling into nobody again. Once knit together, now picked apart, bare bones, bare man. Annihilation full steam ahead. I called for you, but you were long gone. Maybe you were never there at all. I walked when I found energy. I went up to Centennial Park and took the long circuit under the canopy of trees and almost convinced myself that I was an ordinary person. If I walked fast enough, I could leave the sadness behind and lose myself in the crowd of eastern suburbs joggers, dog walkers, frenetic cyclists, and women debriefing with exercise companions about the impossible people in their lives. I looked around at all that perfectly attired casual normality, and I felt like a refugee. I was from a country such people could never understand. I walked down to Clovelly Beach when winter dissolved into spring. I took the coastal track, through the graveyard, down to Bronte where leather-skinned oldies congregated, and over the headland to the long stretch of Bondi. The waves rolled through me as I watched them. I could taste the salt that settled on my lips and feel the sun on my skin. All the elements rubbed hope into my flesh and blood. Some nights I filled my ears with music, turned myself into a whirling dervish, chanted songs as I once chanted psalms, and gloried in the force that was unravelling me. I then felt nothing but the strength and honesty of my beautiful failure, my felix culpa, my lucky fault. It was there in the cells of my body, the ache of my sex, the beat of my heart, the dark reaching strength of my appetites. It was there in the spin of my senses, a kaleidoscopic chorus of sensations asserting life. I was staying in an apartment underneath an aged care facility where old priests were drifting into their twilight years and the enveloping fog of dementia. It wasn't where I wanted to be, but I had little money and I didn't fancy sleeping rough in Sydney. I had certain things in common with those old men above me. I'd been prostrate in a church as they'd once been, while angels and saints had been invoked. I'd felt the hands of a bishop on my head and the holy oils pressed into my hands. I'd said masses, heard confessions, and carried out baptisms and funerals. Some people still considered me a priest. They no doubt prayed that I would get over whatever I was going through and go back to the monastery and the ministry and the work in spirituality and the popular business of retreats. They prayed for me at a safe distance from the leprous complication of my life and waited for something that was never going to happen. They hoped the grace of ordination would bring me back from the abyss. It didn't. The abyss claimed me more fully than the priesthood and the monastery ever could. Truth was in the abyss. Truth was in the gravity of falling. If you taught me one thing, it was this: there is no grace purer than gravity.